Hey, how's it going? Right, we're going to be talking about BP, blood pressure. And the reason being is I just recently bought this Omron RS1 wrist blood pressure monitor. And the reason I've got it is because my older Omron M4 upper arm blood pressure monitor is starting to play up a little bit. You've got to fiddle with the buttons a little bit to get it working. A bit like something else I can think of. Anyway, right. Yeah. Right. So a lot of people say that these are not as accurate as the upper arm ones, which is potentially true. And you see videos and doctors saying it, or whatever, specialists saying they don't work, they're not as accurate as the upper arm cuffs. But they never bloody show it, do they? They just say, you're supposed to listen to them. I've said it, so therefore it's true. So I'm going to test that out today to see if this is more, and what is the difference, the discrepancy, see if it is more accurate, and what the discrepancy is if there is one. I don't think it'll be a lot. I think it'll be a few millimole. I don't think it'll be much. And I also want to talk about how to use this properly to get an accurate reading, and some little tips to even get a better reading again. So watch out for that. But first of all, let's get it out of the box and have a look what we've got. Ooh. Right, let's have a little look what we got. We got some instructions. Got them in different languages. There's the English one there. I don't know, what's that? Is that French? Russian maybe? Oh, what's this? Instruction manual 2. Oh, there we go. And the unit itself. Okay, so you got the unit itself there. Take that peely thing off. Ooh, oh, I'm not freaky then. And it's very basic. It's just got a start stop here. And I think this just tells you your last reading. So that's my last reading there on it. There we are. Okay, and there it goes. And this goes over the hand then. That's so. Ta-da. Right, let's have a little look. Let's put it on, read my blood pressure and see what I've got. So why do we need to test our blood pressure anyway? Okay. Well, a lot of people are walking around who have high blood pressure with no symptoms at all. Some people have symptoms, a lot of people don't have any symptoms whatsoever. And I'll give you an example. Many years ago, 20 years ago probably now, I was working in a health club as a fitness instructor, personal trainer, and back then we routinely used to check their blood pressure before, when we did an induction, we would check their blood pressure and write it on their PAR-Q form before we would do an induction in the gym. So I checked this guy's blood pressure before I went to do the induction, and his blood pressure was through the roof. The guy was probably in his mid-50s, maybe early 60s, and his blood pressure was absolutely, if I recall, it was something like 190 over 120. It may even have been higher than that. And I checked it 3 or 4 times there, and I refused to do the induction, and I advised him to go and see his GP. Now, weirdly now, gyms don't check the blood pressure anymore. I don't know why that stopped. Maybe it's because we don't have, we're not qualified doctors, so we shouldn't do it. I don't know why, but it stopped. But I don't think it should. I think it should still be checked in clubs, health clubs, because that guy went to the doctor. The doctor immediately put him on blood pressure tablets. I think it was beta blockers potentially. And initially the guy was very irate and very angry. He'd paid his gym membership. He wanted me to do this gym membership to lose a bit of weight, get healthy. I was refusing to do so. I even had a bit of pushback off my boss, but refusing it. But the guy came back and shook my hand and said, "Thank you." He said, because the doctor said that if I hadn't gone to him when I did, it could have had serious consequences. So there we go. This is why you should always keep a check on your blood pressure. You never know if you do have high blood pressure, and especially as you're getting older. Excuse me. So anyway, let's check my blood pressure now. Now it's always best to do it 3 times, I would. And also try and avoid doing it after a heavy meal. It's a bit like exercise really. You don't want all your blood going to your stomach to try and help digest that food and affect your blood pressure reading. It may not affect the diastolic as much, which is the lower reading, but it may affect the systolic, the upper reading, okay? With a wrist monitor, I've seen a lot of people put them on that way, palm face down. No, it goes on the underside of the wrist here. You pop that over like that with the Velcro and tighten it up. Now, you keep your arm so that the blood pressure monitor is in line with your heart. So there can be, there is room for error here. You've got to know where your heart is, all right? So your heart is here, okay? Just to the left there, just down from your boobie, okay? About here, about there. You have that to that level, all right? And then you just check your blood pressure then. Keeping your arm, try and keep relaxed, okay? Think relaxed thoughts, you know, deep breathing. Namaste. Now what I try and do is read something on a wall, okay? So look at a picture, if you're in a doctor's surgery, you look at something on a wall and read it when your blood pressure is being monitored. As long as it's not about some terrible disease you might catch, it might stress you out, okay? But I read something on a wall just to take my mind off what's happening. And that tends to give you a better reading, just taking your mind off it. And also do it 3 times, because sometimes you can have white coat syndrome where, you know, it will give you an incorrect reading because you're so stressed about it, right? So stay relaxed, keep your feet flat on the floor, back as straight as you can, okay? Don't cross your legs, breathe naturally, don't talk when it's doing the monitoring. Okay, let's go. Okay, so I was reading a plaque on the wall over there. So it's saying 122/74. Systolic is 122, diastolic is 74. My pulse is 71. I don't know if you can see that there. Which for my age, 50, what am I now? 57, 58 coming up. That's not bad. That's all right. That's pretty good. Okay. Right. Okay. So we got our reading from the wrist BP monitor. Now let's see what type of reading we're going to get from the upper arm monitor if I can get this working. Okay. Let's pop this on. As you can see here, I'm wearing quite loose clothing. I've seen people actually rolling their flipping sleeve up and that's like tight on their arm like this. That ain't going to work. Come on now. Sort it out. Don't ever do that. So loose clothing is good. Or if you have to, take your top off, okay? Right, let's just get this in the right position. There we go. Okay, there you go. So that's saying 124/79. You see it there? 77 beats per minute heart rate. 124/79. So it's not a huge difference. It's a difference. It's measuring it slightly higher. But I've done this numerous times and that's about average. So these are pretty accurate. They're going to give you, they're easier to use, they're more convenient than these are. You haven't got to be pulling your sleeve up and taking your top off or anything like that to do it. Okay, it's very user-friendly. Just pop it on, press the button, nothing much to do with it at all. You haven't got to do anything, set anything up. Press the button, keep this in line with your heart and away you go. So all in all, I think this is a handy little tool. You know, cost me I think £32 to check if I got high blood pressure. I think that's well worth the money, don't you? Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section. Would you prefer to use one of these or one of these? Anyway, I'll catch you in the next one.